TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello, I'm Jemima Sukbat with the news. In this edition, VTs on high tax, welfare of police officers captured in plan, and the PNG national football team name. A local manufacturing company for food, beverages, alcohol and tobacco has called on the government to review the drastic increase in the alcohol tax regime that will be introduced next year. VT's Managing Director Vicky Mosin said the sharp increase in excise duty tax will be killing the business.
Vitis Industries Managing Director Vicky Mawson said the actions of the national government have left them no choice but to cut down on their manpower. She said with the implementation of the huge excise duty tax on alcohol and tobacco in January next year will really affect their operations. She added that the company struggles to offset costs for the business operations and at the same time pay wages for a huge number of staff.
We feel that it's unfair and also there is no space for us to continue our investment in the country until and unless government will come to realize that or to recognize the local industries. Like Vitis Industries is one of them, and I'm sure there are many other local companies out there.
Mosin further stressed that it is a sad scenario when government continues to preach about creating employment opportunities and wealth creation, but such introduction of policies does not give breeding grounds for businesses to excel. She added that the introduction of such high tax on alcohol premixes will see loss of investments in the country. She is appealing to the government to come up with fair decision in the industry.
We're a alcohol manufacturing company, so with that current increase, it's impossible to keep the employment.
And create a level playing field for all and conducive business environment for businesses to excel. Carol Kiru Jr., TVWAN News.
Prime Minister James Marape has reminded heads of government departments and agencies to submit their annual reports by March 2023 to show they have achieved what they have achieved in 2022. He said this would ensure timely and regular checks and balances on government departments and agencies are on par with their performances.
All heads of government departments and agencies are required to report back to the National Executive Council by March 31, 2023 on what they have done. Prime Minister James Marape has issued this ultimatum in Parliament recently. He said that they will not tolerate any late reports and warned in no uncertain terms that failure to comply with this deadline will result in termination. Marape further added that all reports covering what they have done in 2022 should be handed in to the Chief Secretary's office. He also mentioned that the Auditor General will be tasked to hire independent audit firms outside of government to check on the reports. PM Marape said his government was not new, but a continuing one, and all heads of departments and agencies should know what is required of them. Susan Oriapet, TVWAN News.
The welfare of police officers is captured in the government's plan for the next 5 years. Minister for Internal Security Peter Siamalili Jr. made this known in Parliament following questions raised by member for Goilala Casimiro Aya. The MP questioned the Minister on housing and accommodation issues for police officers now that it plans to recruit new officers next year. Welfare and accommodation issues for our police officers has been a subject of question on the floor of Parliament over the years. Goilala MP Casimiro Aya raised the same question on the floor of Parliament this week if the government can recognize the need to provide accommodation for new police officers now that the government plans to recruit new police officers next year.
So, police, you mean by training all? Now, question number one, all by silly way. You mean got some way forward law, by you look law, building barracks, all past time, you mean Salim all go inside the college to come out? And question number one. Question number two, Minister, there was a government intervention program where all call him, some year go finish, all call him police modernization program. This program, unfortunately, is told away somewhere collecting dust.
In response, Minister for Internal Security Peter Siamalili Jr. said the welfare of police officers are being captured in the government's plan for the next 5 years.
One of the biggest challenges is being able to cater for the welfare of our men and women in the force. So me can assure you, inside long this plan within the next 5 years or 4 years within our government, these are the fundamental areas of the work carried out in not only beefing up our force, but ensuring that the welfare of our men and women in the force are being taken care of.
Siamalili assured that all this will be addressed by the Marape Rosso government. The success rate for prosecution cases in PNG is low. Chief Inspector Binwale Boas, OIC Prosecutions for NCD, says manpower, including lack of supervision, discipline, accountability, and lack of resources are contributing factors. The government has pumped in 401 million kina into the law and order sector to address some of these issues. Chief Inspector Binwale Boas is now the OIC Prosecutions for the NCD Metropolitan. His appointment follows the recent announcement by the Police Commissioner last month to transfer 52 policemen and policewomen to various commands throughout the country. Prosecutor Boas was transferred to his current role from police headquarters as the Director for Prosecutions. He told this newsroom that the success rate for prosecution cases is very low. This is associated with many issues, including discipline of police officers, lack of supervision, accountability, and the lack of resources. Chief Inspector Boas said his main focus now, in his new role, is to ensure that discipline is instilled and those working under him are supervised. Boas said lack of supervision has led to police officers engage in extorting money from offenders and complainants. Manpower is also another factor to the low rate of prosecution cases, taking into account population growth and criminal activities happening every day. Boas said at present, one police officer is prosecuting up to more than 10 cases per day, which is too much. He added that the prosecution manpower for NCD is 45, but currently the command is 28 prosecutors. The prosecutors cover various courts including juvenile, traffic, summary, grade 5 court and committal court, with some of the courts having only 3 prosecutors, which the workflow is too much for one to handle. This is TVWAN News. When we return, mining conference is set for next week.
With BSP Internet Banking, you can enjoy your banking at home, at work, or wherever you are. BSP Personal Internet Banking allows you to view your accounts and transactions, transfer money, bill pay, schedule future payments, or access your bank statements. Visit your nearest BSP branch to register now. BSP Internet Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSP, our bank, our people.
Whether we're playing sport, exercising for fitness, being active for work or play, just having some fun, or just chilling, there is one name we can count on that we know will keep us going strong. Skell Rice. Healthy, nutritious, delicious medium grain rice full of vitamins and minerals. Skell helps us maintain a healthy, active lifestyle so we can enjoy every day.
Skell Rice. Skell Rice.
Magic tasty rice makes tasty rice.
Making white flour rice become a favorite below family one-time meat tasty belong Maggie tasty rice. Put him 2 pela cup rice long pot, add him water, na 1 pela packet Maggie tasty rice. Mix him good na boil him rice. Make him white pela rice come up tasty one-time Maggie tasty rice. Maggie, the taste PNG loves.
Open net.
At TISA, we've been the common thread in Papua New Guineans' lives for 50 years. At first, we were simply teachers helping teachers. And today, we're the largest savings and loan society in PNG. With members across our nation's public service and industries. It's an honor to be the common thread in so many lives. Not for profit, not for charity, but for service.
SP Laga was there for the birth of our nation. We cheered when we dominated the Pacific Games. And we were full of pride when the Hunters lifted the cup. SP Laga, cheers to 70 years.
Welcome back. Over 1,000 delegates are expected to attend the 16th Mining and Petroleum Investment Conference in Sydney. The theme of this year's conference is PNG Resources, Securing the Next Wave of Responsible Investment.
The conference draws over 1,000 delegates from the global hydrocarbon, minerals and energy industries and the investment sector from around the globe. Prime Minister James Marape will be presenting the keynote opening address on day 1 on Monday, 5th of December to promote international investment in Papua New Guinea. Senior executives of major international investors in PNG, including Newcrest, Harmony Gold, Total Energies, Santos PNG, and ExxonMobil PNG, will be providing a global outlook for their company's operations and how their PNG investments fit into their global portfolios. Former Australian Foreign Affairs Minister Julie Bishop will also present her views as to why Australia needs to invest more in Papua New Guinea. Trade and International Investment Minister Richard Maru will outline the PNG government's vision for investment and development in non-mining sectors. The week's conference features a dynamic and engaging program with international speakers lined up. Susan Oriape, TVWAN News.
Business Coalition for Women revealed during a conference in Port Moresby recently to member business houses that the online or digitalized gender-based violence and sexual violence affects production and affects the economy. The conference was to raise awareness among the members of the risk posed online and to find solutions to minimize the effects through sharing of experiences.
CEO of Business Coalition for Women, Yvonne Kennedy, was impressed with the positive outcome of members' attendance at the conference, which she said is a great improvement from 7 years ago when the coalition was started.
People understood that it happened, but also thought that it had to stay at home. It was a domestic issue and really shouldn't be responded by the workplace. But fortunately, we were able to partner with the International Finance Corporation and do some research which showed the significant cost and impact to the business community.
This research helped the BCFW to reach out to business houses, convincing them how gender-based violence and family sexual violence affects their business in terms of loss of man-hours as an effect. Though it didn't take long for leaders to take note and give their support.
The reason why we decided to focus on online violence is that it kept coming up from the business community. So whilst, say, in a consensual relationship, pictures might be shared, if a relationship is coming to an end or they leave the relationship, images were starting to be weaponized against parties, and online violence was being used as a tool.
Apart from having a guest speaker and e-safety commissioner from Australia, there was also a panel leading the discussions during the meeting.
We hope that you get an increased awareness of our legislation around this issue, and we do want to showcase the existing referral pathways, some of which couldn't be here today because there are other forums on today.
Though a lot is being done to minimize the gender-based violence and family sexual violence in the business community, there is still room for more as the implementers are very few in number. Frida Kana, TVWAN News.
The Chinese embassy in Port Moresby delivered 10 brand new laptops to Climate Change and Development Authority to support its administration in the fight against climate change. The donation follows dialogue over the last 2 months between the embassy and CCDA, of which the embassy expressed China's interest in providing technical assistance to CCDA. Climate Change and Development Authority Acting Managing Director William Lakine thanked the Chinese government through its embassy for recognizing the need CCDA has in terms of resources it requires to implement its functions. The Chinese embassy presented 10 brand new laptops to Climate Change and Development Authority on Friday to support its administration in the fight against climate change. The donation follows dialogue over the last 2 months between the embassy and the CCDA, of which the embassy expressed Chinese interest in providing technical assistance to CCDA. The Chinese Deputy Head of Mission to Papua New Guinea, Chen Jiliang, when presenting the laptops, expressed China's passionate commitment in addressing climate change, and one is through the South-South cooperation in which China is working to supporting countries in the Pacific. You're watching TV1 News. Sports is next. Stay tuned.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo and milk taste and added nutrients, Milo and milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Prime PNG made.
Quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook. And with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier but you like it more.
When you're spending time with family, when you've got a big day ahead, when you have given it all you've got, when you're putting on a feast, that's when you want the best. That's when you want flame rice. New flame rice. Win him, Olgeta.
SB Lager was there for the birth of our nation. We cheered when we dominated the Pacific Games. And we were full of pride when the Hunters lifted the cup. SB Lager. Cheers to 70 years.
Welcome back. The PNG women's national football team head coach Spencer Pryor has named 26 players to attend the second training block in Sydney, Australia. The head coach said they are very pleased to have hosted the planned trial match in Port Moresby last week to select 26 players to come into the next training camp in Sydney from the 6th to the 22nd of December 2022.
The camp will include 2 international friendlies with a very tough Philippines women's national team who have already qualified for the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup. Among the 26 players, 10 players who remained and trained in Port Moresby during the first training block in November were selected. The players have potential to integrate well with the rest of the players returning to Sydney. They showed potential in the recent organised trial match in Port Moresby, hence were named in the 26 squad. From this training block, a final squad of 23 players will be selected to undergo the final training block in New Zealand in January 2023 in preparation for the FIFA World Cup playoff in February. Head coach Spencer was also pleased that all national staff members were being given equal opportunities to participate and contribute to the team's preparation programs in different training blocks. He said this was important as national coaches and managers have the opportunity to develop their skill sets and better understanding of high-performing training programs, of which will no doubt be a huge benefit towards the development of football in PNG. The team departs for Sydney, Australia tomorrow. Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
The Men's 2025 Rugby League World Cup will feature 6 teams from Asia Pacific, 6 from Europe, 2 from America, and 1 from Middle East Africa. Organizers have confirmed the final place will be decided by an inter-region exchange between Cook Islands and the winner of the 2023 Middle East Africa Cup, which will be contested by Ghana, Nigeria, and South Africa.
The Cookies were the only Pacific nation not to reach the quarterfinals of the 2021 World Cup and therefore guarantee entry for 2025. It was the 3rd time they had featured at the World Cup, having previously qualified in 2000 and 2013, though they have exited at the group stage on each occasion. Australia, Fiji, New Zealand, PNG, Samoa and Tonga have already booked their place in France 3 years ago. Host France and England are the only confirmed European nations to date, while Lebanon will be the automatic Middle East Africa representative. The 2 Americas qualifiers will come from the 2023 Americas Championship competed by Brazil, Canada, Jamaica and USA. Brazil successfully navigated the South America's Championship at the weekend to reach the qualifying tournament, defeating Chile and Colombia. The 4 remaining European sports will be decided via the European Championships, with exact details to be confirmed. There are 8 teams, including England and France, due to feature in the 2023 European Championship, with Ireland, Italy, Scotland, Serbia, Spain and Wales making up the competition. All 8 competing women's teams at the recently concluded World Cup, Australia, Brazil, Canada, Cook Islands, England, France, New Zealand and PNG, automatically qualifies for France in 2025. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The Central Dabaris Junior Rugby League competition is making some headway into identifying young talents from the Central Province and be drafted into the elite squad to continue in their development pathway. This year, the central government-sponsored competition ran under 14, under 16 and under 18 games, including the girls division.
The PNG RFL-sanctioned Junior Development Program is an initiative of the Central Provincial Government to start identifying young talents and put them through their development pathway and transcending to the Dabaris elite squad. Central Dabaris Junior Development Officer Gomara Ahuta said from this year's inaugural competition they have identified 13 junior league boys with potential to make it into the Dabaris elite squad with eligibility to take part in the upcoming Central Nines tournament or even the city competition.
We build the kids up in our the development and even the junior league. Most of the players, the body mass weight and the shapes, height, it changes a lot. So these are some beneficials of playing rugby league into a town competition.
Ahuta said after they had their junior development grand final 2 months ago, players have been identified to go into the high performance training program.
It's like a program that usually how the NRL system does, where they develop the young ones to become the next level players. So that's how we're trying to groom those kids when they go up to the stage where when they reach between 18 and 19 and 20, they should be playing in the professional football.
Ahuta said the inaugural season was open to interested clubs and rugby league communities from Motu Koita, Hiri, Mekelle, Kairuku, Koyari, Rigo and Amazon Bay. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
Wanderers women's hockey team took out third place after defeating an equally strong Sunam team in a golden point shootout 1-0. After regulation time, both teams were locked at 0-0, forcing the fiery contest into goal shootout to decide the winner.
The hotly contested third and fourth placing playoff in the Port Moresby women's hockey final between Wanderers in maroon and Sunam in gold played out to a 0-0 draw at full time, forcing the contest into a penalty shootout, giving both teams a best of 5 penalty strokes. With scores still deadlocked, Wanderers took their chance in the sudden death shootout to seal the deal and were crowned third place champions for 2022. Wanderers team manager Thekla Pomoso said Wanderers is a mixed team made up of young girls from across the country, mainly Central and NGI.
So we are Wanderers Hockey Club. We are a mixed culture and origin group of families. We're a big family and we've encouraged a lot of young players to join our team to grow the code and be inclusive of everyone, young, old, whoever is interested in the sport. Yeah.
Opposing Sunam's keeper Abigail Lina said although it was a tough game, they really enjoyed the challenge and was particularly impressed with the first-timers. She also praised her girls for their commitment to training, which has really paid off.
We lost by 1 point, which is not a big difference. It's just 2-3. So it was a very challenging game. It was a good game. It was a most improved game. Even though we don't have a keeper, we did really well.
Abigail said the team will be back bigger and better in 2023. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
And that ends another edition of TV1 News. Remember to apply the following simple measures to prevent transmission of the coronavirus. Regularly wash your hands with soap and water, cough or sneeze into your elbow, and exercise social distancing. If you are feeling sick, please stay at home. You can also call the COVID-19 hotline number for more information or assistance. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.